Thank you. Please be seated. I'm Tim Downs, Provost and Chief Academic Officer at Niagara University, and it is my pleasure to serve as your Master of Ceremonies for today's new Student Convocation. It is my honor to welcome the 158th class of Niagara University, along with their families and friends. Today we welcome first-year and transfer students to the Niagara University community. An important tradition in higher education is convocation, the day you begin an academic career at a university, followed by graduation exercises a few short years from now. And believe me, it goes by fast. Due to the importance of this event, we ask you to please turn off your cell phones and other electronic devices during this ceremony. In our academic procession today, the mace was carried by Dr. Amanda Mangum, new assistant professor in mathematics. The mace is the symbol of the security of the university president, the corporate faculty and students, and is used only when they are solemnly convoked to deliberate as a university. We would like to thank formally Brian Eckenrode, former faculty member in our Theater and Fine Arts Department, for adding that special touch to a ceremony that only bagpipes can provide. At this time, I'd like to introduce the members of our platform party. I ask each person to stand as I call their name, and would ask the audience to please hold your applause until I introduce each person. Dr. Amanda Mangum, Assistant Professor of Mathematics. Dr. Chandra Foote, Associate Dean of the College of Education. Dr. Sean Daly, Dean of the College of Business Administration. Dr. Timothy Ireland, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Professor Michael Gentile, Interim Dean of the College of Hospitality and Tourism Management. Ms. Stefanie Curry, Director, Academic Exploration Program. Dr. Kevin Hearn, Vice President for Enrollment Management and Student Affairs. Ms. Carrie McLaughlin, Dean of Students. Ms. Kalene Faricellie, Niagara University Student Body President. Father Kevin Cray, CM, Vice President for Mission and Ministry. Dr. Michael Barnwell, Associate Professor of Philosophy. Dr. Stefanie Wichhart, Associate Professor of History and Faculty Coordinator of the Niagara University Beginnings NUB course. Brother Martin Schneider, CM, Marshal and Coordinator of University Commencements. Dr. Bonnie Rose, Executive Vice President. And Father James Maher, CM, President of Niagara University. You guys can sit down. They might have been standing the whole time. I thought I'd tell them. If you look behind me, you see a display of international flags, and they're displayed here today to represent our incoming students who have come from Australia, Bermuda, Canada, China, Denmark, Germany, Great Britain, Hungary, Italy, Peru, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Korea, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Turkey, Venezuela, and Vietnam. Welcome to NU, a place that we know will become your home for learning. We're very excited to have students from abroad coming here to study because it's one of our strategic initiatives to globalize the Niagara University community even more than it has ever been in the past. It is a tradition at Niagara University to sing the national anthems of Canada and the United States at all major events. We consider ourselves a binational university. Please rise while Marina Lorendi, a third-year theater studies student, sings "O Canada" and the Star-Spangled Banner. Marina will be accompanied by Mr. Donald Shrimpton, former musical director for Niagara University Theater. Following the anthems, I would ask you to please remain standing for the invocation, which will be given by Father Kevin Cray, CM, and while the color guard recesses from the room. Marina?
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
And we pray. Lord God, your prophet Sirach teaches, if you wish, you can be taught. If you apply yourself, you will be shrewd. If you are willing to listen, you will learn. If you give heed, you will be wise. Today we gather in your spirit to ask your blessings upon our new students who seek to grow in knowledge and wisdom. We are mindful that you are the source and summit of all that is good and just, and so we place our aspirations and efforts in your guidance and in your protection. We are inspired by the noble profession of educator, whose mission is to push the horizons of our minds and hearts to experience the truth and beauty of your love and wisdom. And so we also seek your blessings upon our university leaders, faculty, and administrators. In their service to others, they are reflections of your servant, Vincent de Paul's charism of service to others. Lord, bless this convocation, the student body, especially our new students, our whole campus community, and all our alumni, so that our learning may be enriched and our service be beneficial to all people we encounter. And we ask this in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Marina, Don, and Father Cray. I would also like to take this moment to thank our sign language interpreter, Terry Hayes, who is assisting us with the program today. Please be seated. There are many other people who are here today to welcome you, who have been working hard to prepare you for this day and will put their hearts and souls into working with you to make your educational experiences at Niagara University the best it can be. As I announce these groups, please stand so you can be recognized. Our Niagara University outstanding faculty. Please stand. Enrollment management staff. Our ROTC Purple Eagle Battalion. From Student Affairs, we have orientation leaders and residence life staff, as well as students such as our student government and NUB course student peer mentors. Please stand. Our athletic coaches and staff in athletics. And all other Niagara University personnel, please be recognized. Thanks to all of you for your hard work at Niagara and the assistance you have provided to our new students as they transition to Niagara University. And I thank you in advance for all the great things you'll do for this cohort. Make sure they're successful. At this time, the faculty welcome will be given by Dr. Michael Barnwell, Associate Professor in Philosophy and recipient of the 2013 Excellence in Teaching Award at Niagara University. Dr. Barnwell.
So I just found out about 5 minutes before coming up here. Usually when I teach, I don't have a coat on, and I'm usually walking around. So I found out the microphones don't move today, so I'm stuck. So if the speech turns out badly, I'm blaming it on that, not on my own content of the speech. So, all right. First, just a word to the parents. Parents, as a fellow parent myself, I want to say congratulations. I know that one of our main goals for our children is that they grow up and be successful, and that they come to college and be college ready. And from the fact that you're here today, it means that you've succeeded and to a large degree. And I know you've no doubt, students, you have no idea how much, until you become a parent, how much your parents have probably sacrificed for you and worried about you to get you to this point. So if we just take one quick second, students, if you wouldn't mind just clapping for your parents and congratulating them. Also, to the parents, I don't know exactly what you're going through. Mine are 4 and 6, but I have an idea. This has got to be a day of some mixed emotions. In addition to the pride, there's probably some sadness. I don't know if this will help, but if it helps to console you at all, just know that the faculty here are among the most impressive people I've ever been around. I don't know of another school with such a collection of professors who are so oriented toward their students, so student-centered, so caring about their students, and good in their disciplines. So if it helps console you at all, just know that your children are in good hands, and if they take full advantage of everything that the faculty here offers them, it'll be time well spent, even if it's away from you for a while. Oh, thanks. All right. Students, so now I'll talk to you. How many of you remember the speeches at your high school graduation? Anybody? Hands? You? Wow, really? That's good. A lot of people did. I mean, a lot of times we don't remember speeches, and those speeches were just 2 months ago. And it's hard to remember speeches. No one ever remembers speeches, which is pretty depressing for someone like me who's been asked to give a speech, right? So my theory is if I'm going to give a speech, I want it to be memorable, and I don't have any empirical research to back this up, but I think 2 things make a speech memorable. It's got to be short, and it has to be relevant to your lives. So I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to make the speech short, and I'm going to try to make it relevant to your life. So see how it goes. It's going to be short, 2 points. Remember those 2 points? You'll remember the speech. And it's going to be relevant to your life. So what could be top of your mind right now as you're sitting here? You're at a new school. You're surrounded by new people. Just trying to think what would be most relevant to your life at this particular moment that you would listen to a speech and not be on your phone. And I thought, well, I was in your shoes once. I was a new student at school and sitting in the chairs and listening to the speeches. And the thing that I was thinking about most at that moment was, I wonder if that girl I saw at check-in would ever go out on a date with me. My guess is, and I know you wouldn't tell your parents this, but if you're at all like me, probably some of you are thinking about your future dating life. They're surrounded by a lot of new people, a new environment. So I'm going to make this speech relevant to your life. I'm going to give you some dating advice. So the 2 points are going to be dating advice. Parents, this is also job and life advice too, but let's keep that between us. Let them think it's just dating, all right? So, 2 points. The first point, it's short, it's not what you expect, but first point is this. You want to be successful dating, don't text and drive. Do you know what having an accident does for your dating life? Not so good. I'm just saying. So this is a big passion of mine, anti-texting and driving. This is just good life advice in general. You can't really do anything else you want to do in life if you're in legal problems or you're in an accident or sort of texting and driving. And I know what you're all thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, I'm good at it. The thing is, anybody else, you know who else thought they were good at texting and driving? Everybody who ever wrecked texting and driving. The research shows nobody is good at texting and driving, so this is my own passion. Please don't text and drive. It's not worth ruining your future life or delaying your life or anything for a quick text. And I understand. I finally got my first smartphone back in September, finally with the times. And I understand when you hear the beep, the emphasis, the desire to want to answer it. But don't text. And I put my money where my mouth is. If you take one of my classes, if you take the pledge on itcanwait.com, I encourage everyone to do that. If you take a pledge on itcanwait.com, never to text and drive, I give you a little extra credit in my class. I figure it's worth a few extra points to make sure you stay safe. So that's my words on texting and driving. That's first, don't text and drive, first point. Here's my second main point to help you in your dating life. Don't be a dull person. Be interesting instead. Who wants to date dull people? They're dull. Now, luckily, this is one of the few things you are actually in control of. We're not in control of our looks. We're not in control of our height. We're not necessarily in control of how much money we're born with or what, but you are in control of whether you're interesting or not. So, my main plea to you today, use college to make yourself interesting. I fear a lot of you will graduate college and not be interesting. I know a lot of students have graduated college and they're not interesting. And how does that happen? They go into college, and this may be some of the mindset of some of you now. You go into college, you've got one thing on your mind. I gotta get a degree. If I get a degree, I can get a job. So you come into college, you're like, I want to do this job. I need a degree to do a job. What do I need to do to get it? And your advisor talks to you and says, well, you check off this box, this box, this box, this box, and you take that class, and you'll have your piece of paper. And so a lot of students come into school, and they're like, I don't care about learning. College is kind of a hoop to jump so I can get my job. So I've got to get this degree. So I'll take this class, and I'll take that class, and I'll take that class, and then I'll have my piece of paper. You probably did this in high school, right? There's some classes you had to take, and you're like, it's a hoop to jump. It's a box to check. Hey, you know what it'll be like when you're 20? When you're in your 20s after you've graduated and you go out on a date with a college graduate who that was their life, say, oh, tell me about yourself. Got a piece of paper. They can talk about sports or reality TV too, but hey, that could be you, right? But for all of your time that you're going to spend 4 years, 3 to 4 years here, depending on your situation, for all of your time, for all of your effort, and for all of your money, you should want something more than just a piece of paper out of these 4 years here at Niagara, here in college. You should want to be interesting. Use college not to just get that piece of paper, but to make yourself interesting. You could have gone to a school where they're just about the pieces of paper. Right? There's a class of schools, we call them vocational schools sometimes, schools that say, hey, come here, we'll teach you just how to do this job, and you'll do it. And you get your piece of paper, and you can go out into the world, and you can do that job. Lucky for you, you didn't choose to come to and that's fine, vocational schools are great, but that's not what we're about here in Niagara. Lucky for you, you came to a school that's a liberal arts school. It's a school that can make you interesting. So I know you may have heard this term. Who's heard this term, liberal arts, of the students? You heard it? Yeah, I heard it my whole life. I had no idea what it meant. So I'll give you a quick history lesson. Liberal arts, the word liberal comes from liber, which is Latin for free. And so the liberal arts are the subjects that the free Romans were able to study. It's the ones that they wanted to study. Life in ancient Rome wasn't so hunky-dory. Had to get your food, had to get your shelter. A lot of people were slaves. And the goal of many Romans was to get past just having to take care of the day-to-day necessities and to be free to think about things that weren't just about living. Think about things that make us interesting. Things like, what is the meaning of life? Or, are there gods and what does that mean for our lives? Or, hey, I wonder what happened in the past and what does that mean for our lives now? Or, I wonder what these plays and these pieces of literature, they seem pretty entertaining to read. I wonder what they say about our lives. The Romans wanted to study the liberal arts, the free arts, and very few of them got to. At Niagara, ironically, you're not free to study the liberal arts. We force you to do it, right? Right. So you're going to go in. You probably already met during your summer orientation earlier. You probably already met with your advisor, and you were looking at your curriculum card and said, oh, I want this piece of paper. Well, let's do this left side of the card first. Let's do all the general education classes. Let's do all the liberal arts classes. Well, let's check off the philosophy. Let's check off the history. Let's check off the literature. Let's check off the religion. Let's check off the language. Let's get those checked off so I can get to my real passion, getting a piece of paper. So you're lucky, more than any other school in the area, and I won't mention them, but most of them start with letters near the beginning of the alphabet. More than any other school around here, Niagara's calling card is, we'll get you your piece of paper. You'll come out of here with a job, or job ready, hopefully a job. But we want you to get more from education than just a piece of paper. We want you to be interesting. Why limit yourself to just a piece of paper? You're here anyway. Make yourself interesting. Now, so that's the interesting part. This is still kind of in the same ballpark. Make yourself interesting, care about learning, care about your liberal arts classes. I want you to let's talk about jobs. Everyone's worried about getting a job, and I completely understand. I'm worried about keeping mine. Hopefully I haven't said anything up here. Puts that in jeopardy. What you want to worry about is your first job. What you need to be even more worried about is your fifth job. Because statistics are starting to show that your generation, you're going to go through several jobs in your lifetime because the jobs keep changing with the way technology is changing. The jobs that are available when you graduate in 2018 may not even exist in 2025. You've got to be able to move with the world as the world moves, and you can't go back to school and get retrained in 2025. I saw a stat, and I've tried to find it, and I can't find it, but it's something like in 2010, 4 or 6 of the top 10 jobs didn't even exist in 2004. If you'd graduated college in 2004, you wouldn't have even been qualified for many of the jobs in 2010. How are you going to keep up with the times? There's only one way. You've got to be a good thinker. You've got to be able to think critically. Because what you learn now for your job is important, but it may not be relevant 10 years down the road. But you don't want your college to be irrelevant then. Make your college relevant by learning how to think. Hey, guess what subjects are good at helping you learn how to think well? Liberal arts. The religions, the philosophies, the literatures, the history, the languages, all these courses, they're designed specifically to help you learn how to think. So when you get out of here in 7-10 years down the road, you'll be able to move with the world. You'll be able to be a good thinker. Now, some of you, if you're still listening, may be thinking, yeah, it doesn't apply to me. I'm going to be an accountant. I know my job. So, funny story. I have a friend who worked for the big 5 accounting firms. Yeah, very good at what it was, a chief financial officer at a firm. I was talking to him randomly the other night, and he said, I used to have to do a lot of hiring. And you might think he hired the person who was the best accountant, who really had that piece of paper that said, I'm the best accountant. But he said, no, a lot of people will have your piece of paper. That's not going to make you special. A lot of people, even from those other schools I mentioned, will have a piece of, or that I didn't mention, they'll have pieces of paper. What's going to make you special is whether you're interesting. He said to me, he's like, I didn't even ask them about their accountancy abilities at that point. They had already passed that bar by the time they get to me. What did I do? I hired the ones I found interesting. I hired the ones I want to be around 12 hours a day. I hired the ones that could think well. I didn't care just about their pieces of paper. No matter what field you go into, being able to think well and being interesting is going to be important. I mean, you can go through life dull and with your piece of paper, but why? You deserve more. So, make yourself special, make yourself different, and that's usually attractive on dates. Don't text and drive, and use college to make yourself interesting. Thank you for coming today. It's great to have you at India.
Thank you, Dr. Barnwell, for your insights, and I think we could call it enthusiasm. Now at this time, I would like to ask Dr. Stefanie Wichhart, Associate Professor of History and Faculty Coordinator of the Niagara University Beginnings Program, to come forward and speak about this important part of your Niagara University experience and to recite the faculty creed.
Father Maher, Dr. Downs, administration, faculty, and staff, families and students, good afternoon. Class of 2018, I had the pleasure of speaking to you during summer orientation at our session on the transition from high school to college. At that time, many of you had just graduated from high school only days before, and now here you are, moved in and ready to begin this next stage of your education. Your academic career begins right here at NSO. After your college meeting tomorrow morning, the student peer mentors for your NU Beginnings class, or NUB, We'll give you a tour of campus, and then you'll attend an academic session where we'll help you get ready for the first day of classes. Have you wondered what college classes are really like? You'll find out tomorrow afternoon when you participate in the first ever NU Spin Sessions, which stands for Students, Professors, Ideas, Niagara, our version of TED Talks. You'll complete your first college assignment at the Spin Sessions, and we hope you'll enjoy this wonderful opportunity to experience the intellectual life of our campus and learn more about the fascinating research carried out by our faculty. Tuesday, the real excitement begins with the first day of classes. As freshmen, you'll all be taking Niagara University Beginnings, or NUB, our first year seminar. NUB is on one level a very practical class, designed to equip you for success at NU. Many of you expressed your concerns about managing your time at summer orientation, and we'll help you get organized as you start your semester. You'll learn how to give an effective presentation and how to properly cite sources. The formal portion of the class ends in late October, but NUB isn't over. Your peer mentors will follow up with you during advisement and registration and meet with you again at the end of the semester to help you prepare for your first final exam week. But NUB is a lot more than this. Almost all of you will be in major or program-specific NUB sections, so you'll build connections with faculty and students in your department and learn what makes your course of study special. You'll explore NU's Vincentian culture and how it relates to your academic studies. If you've looked at your schedule and thought, why do I have to take that class? In NUB, we'll help you see how your classes fit together and how the liberal arts education you'll receive at NU can prepare you for any future career. I'd like to share with you something that I keep on my desk. As a child, did you ever buy those tiny plastic animals that when placed in a glass of water grow to 20 times their original size? I have the college version of those animals here. It's called a grow-a-degree. You put this little scroll in water, and in 3 days, you have a full-size diploma. It says, earn the respect you deserve, get that higher-paying job you've always wanted. No term papers, no studying, no morning classes, no late-night cramming, and all for $3.99. There will be days when you will wish this were true. The reality is that college is a lot of hard work. And at times it might be tempting to take the easy way out, as this grow-a-degree suggests. But our hopes for you as new NU students are much greater than this. We want to see you earn your degree in 4 years, but we also want to see you thrive and find your passion. We don't just prepare you for a job, we prepare you for life, a career, and a calling. Your NUB course is designed to help you through all the hard work of your first semester of college, but also to encourage you to realize the full potential of your NU education. To conclude, I'd like to share with you now the Faculty Creed, a statement which reflects our commitment as a university to you, our students. We, as the university community of Niagara University, promise to challenge and inspire students to think critically and creatively and to promote overall intellectual growth. Contribute to an environment in which students may develop themselves as a whole person, and help students to recognize their place in the world and understand their responsibility to others, particularly with regard to marginalized people. On behalf of the NUB instructors and peer mentors, welcome to NU. We look forward to joining you on this path and helping you navigate this exciting new beginning. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wichhart. Your remarks are timely and poignant, and we also thank you for your leadership in the NUB program. The NU Student Creed was written by students in 2003, and they were asked to tell us what it meant to be an NU student. I now ask Ms. Kalene Faricellie, your student body president, to come forward to welcome and lead you in reciting the creed, which can be found on the center page of your program.
Thank you, Dr. Downs. Good afternoon and welcome, students and families. My name is Kalene Faricellie, and I am a senior marketing major and the president of Niagara University Student Government Association. I would like to start by saying that I am honored and excited to be one of the first to welcome you into the Niagara University community, or a place I call home. As you begin the next chapter, I assure you that it will be filled with the most amazing experiences and some of the proudest moments of your life. Here at Niagara, our faculty and staff are known for assisting students to help them grow and be successful. With that said, as new students, I would like to encourage you to take advantage of the academic offices available on campus. The 4 colleges, the Academic Exploration Program, Academic Support, and Career Services are a great source of knowledge, guidance, and inspiration. These departments will help you find your passion, guide you in the right direction, and give you the tools to help reach goals that you never even thought were possible. My second piece of advice is to get involved. Now, I'm sure you've heard this several times, although I can assure you in college it will mean so much more. There are numerous clubs and organizations, and when I say that getting involved was one of the best decisions of my life, I truly mean it. Participation in community service, clubs and organizations, and other leadership roles will set you apart from other college students when applying for internships and potential careers. Take advantage of networking opportunities to connect with your fellow Purple Eagles, because you never know who might just be able to open that door for you. Now I'd ask you to please stand and take this time to recognize the significance of our Niagara University Student Creed. I would now ask you to please take out your phones, and normally I would not recommend doing this during a class, a faculty meeting, or an important occasion like today, but today is an exception. So if you could please take out your phones and open the NU app, which you've already downloaded, and follow the directions on the screen. You will click the news and events. So click news and events, and then you click the NU Student Creed, and I would ask that you please recite the creed with me. We, new students entering Niagara University, affirm our commitment to excellence in higher education. We promise to challenge ourselves, both inside and outside the classroom, and to uphold the highest standards of scholarship and integrity. We proclaim and desire to be lifelong learners, fostering the growth of mind, body, heart, and soul in ourselves and others. We pledge to strengthen our community by serving those most in need, actively striving for social justice in all situations. We affirm that Niagara's Catholic and Vincentian values will guide us as we respect the God-given dignity of every person. We know that our success is defined not only by what we achieve, but by the time and talents we commit to serving others. Now, if you could scroll down on your phone and accept the creed, congratulations, new students, you are now officially Purple Eagles. Thank you.
The students can be seated again. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Faricellie, for your remarks, and also thank you for your leadership in student governments. It's something that's very important to the co-curricular learning experience at Niagara University that we all encourage you to get involved with. Today is a special day for everyone in attendance. For us here at Niagara University, we're excited to welcome you to the Purple Eagle family. We are thrilled that you have chosen Niagara University, and we look forward to educating you and serving you in the coming days, weeks, months, and years. For your family and friends, today marks the next chapter in your life story. They have helped lead you here in one way or another, and now they are filled with some nervous excitement to see what your next great accomplishments will be. Whether you've come to us as a freshman or a transfer student, each one of you has come to Niagara on your own path. These paths have made you who you are today, but today is a new beginning at NU, positioning yourself for greatness. Today, you're officially a student of Niagara University, and each one of you begins today with a grade point average of 4.0. We challenge you and we encourage you to work hard to maintain that 4.0 inside the classroom, but we also challenge you to make your mark on Niagara University and the world outside the classroom. And remember, we will be here to support you every day. Today's convocation, this event, is a significant bookend event, an event that marks the beginning of your higher education career at Niagara University. The next bookend event will be your graduation and participation in commencement exercises just a few short years from now. A Niagara University lapel pin has been placed on your seat. This is a pin that is a symbol of our community culture and recognizes you as a member of the Niagara University community. We ask you to wear this pin often, if not daily. Wear it to special events. Wear it while you're working off campus, working in service activities, doing an internship. Wear it during a job interview. We have a lot of Niagara University loyal alumni in the region and the world. We challenge you to wear this at your graduation in 4 years. Please put the pin on right now. This pin symbolizes your membership to an outstanding Catholic and Vincentian community. Wear it with pride. We are proud you are now an NU Purple Eagle. Welcome to Niagara University. Now it gives me great pleasure to invite our president, Father James J. Maher, CM, to address us this afternoon. Father Maher.
Thank you, Dr. Downs. A very simple story. In the past year, one particular day, walking through the Gallagher Center late in the afternoon, I saw 3 students sitting at a booth. And we just struck up a conversation. And they had their iPhones and their iPads and their books and other articles out. And there was a pretty little book that one of the students had on the table. And so I asked her, "What is that?" And she said, "That's my gratitude journal." I said, "Really, what's that?" She says, "That's the book that I use to write down every day the things I'm grateful for. And I said, well, why do you do that? He said, gratitude is the secret to happiness in life. One of your fellow students said that. And so I say to you, write it down. Write it down every day, the things that you're grateful for. Write it down in a book. Write it down by telling people. Write it down by serving other people. Because you truly have been blessed with a wonderful opportunity. You've heard a wonderful student speaker and leader, Kalene. You've heard two members of our faculty, Dr. Wichhart and Dr. Barnwell. And I'll tell you this, there's plenty more where that came from. We have a great faculty at Niagara University. Those are not the exceptions to our faculty, they're the rule. And they could be at other universities throughout this country, but they choose to be at Niagara University because they love students, they love learning, they love teaching, and they love seeing young people be positioned for success in life. Write it down. Be grateful for the opportunities. Be grateful for the opportunities that your families have placed before you, the sacrifices that they have made for you to be in these seats. Write it down and be grateful for the opportunities that have been placed before you. That's my message to you. Don't leave anything on the table. Take advantage of every opportunity that Niagara University offers you in the classroom, outside the classroom, in the community. And you will not be sorry. Write it down and be grateful for the great opportunity that's been placed for you. Never again in your lives, never again will you be in a position as transfer students and freshman students at this time in your life when people will care about you as much as we care about you. And the only thing that we'll demand from you is that you work to get better every day. You work to be better students. You work to be better leaders. You work to be better learners. You work to be better servants. You work to be better people to change the world and to make a difference. And we know that you can do it. God bless you and welcome to Niagara University.
Thank you, Father Maher, for your vision, for your leadership of Niagara University, and for working tirelessly to help sustain us as the outstanding institution of higher education that we are and will be for the duration. As we conclude, we offer special thanks to Brother Martin Schneider, CM, our Marshal and Convocation Coordinator. I'd also like to thank the Convocation Committee, orientation leaders and assistants, NUB student peer mentors, community advisors, and representatives from student government who were instrumental in making today a success, and the faculty, staff, and administration who are at the heart of all we do every day. Parents, family members, now the time has come to say goodbye. It's time to let go. The students' orientation to the campus community officially begins following this ceremony with the annual walk to the whirlpool and a dinner with their peers. Students are asked to convene on the front lawn of St. Vincent's Hall at 4:15 sharp. You'll have a few minutes to say goodbye, and then the orientation weekend at NU begins. On behalf of NU, we welcome our new students, and we look forward to seeing parents at Family Weekend, September 26th through September 28th. For those of you in attendance who are alumni, we would encourage you to stop in the front of the Gallagher Center after our convocation, where you can meet and talk to some of our office from alumni engagement, where they will also take pictures. Now we've come to the completion of the convocation. I ask that you please remain in your places until the platform party has left the upper level. Thank you again, and welcome to the Niagara family, and best of luck to all of you for a successful and engaging fall semester and academic career at Niagara University.